It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Hey, good morning and welcome to Travel and Cruise Industry Podcast on a very cold Monday morning on the 15th day of December 2025. Coming to you from my studio in Forest, Virginia, right outside of Lynchburg. And folks, I have to tell you, I unfortunately on Saturday, I made fun of amigo John up there in Crookston, Minnesota, because it was minus 35. And so I gave him hell about that and told him I'd never want to live up there in that business. And I guess amigo John now believes in all this retribution crap. So he packaged it up and sent it to me. Yeah, he did. When I got up this morning, it was 12 degrees and 5 below zero wind chill factor. That's cold for Virginia in December. That's cold for Virginia anytime, but especially this early in the season. It's all John's fault. I'll get even with him on the Grandiosa in February. I don't know. I'll dump ice down his shorts or something. But anyway, this cold weather, blame it on John. Because he had all of it up there and just taken care of it up there in Minnesota and sent it to us. That's my story. Okay, so what else happened? Yesterday, I'm sitting here minding my own business. I think I probably had a football game on. And my oxygen concentrator, it had been thumping a little bit, making an unusual sound and extremely loud for what it was. And all of a sudden, the alarm started going off. I thought we were in an air raid or something. I mean, that drove me out of the house before I could get it turned off. Well, I finally got rid of the alarm and called the oxygen company, and they got me through to a technician. Now remember, this is Sunday, folks, Sunday afternoon, Christmas holidays. They got me through to a technician who had me do all kinds of things with unplug this, turn that off, do it in this order for this amount of time. I did all kinds of testing and eventually got it back on again. He said, I don't have to call the driver in because it's working. But if it goes out again, just call back and tell them we've been through all the test things and for them to forget all the stuff they're going to suggest, just go straight to the driver and I'll put a note in your file. I said, okay, that's fine. So it's working. So I settled back in my chair watching the ball game or whatever I was watching. I am pretty sure was watching the football game, one of them. And about 30 minutes later, there goes that damn alarm again, scared the bejesus out of me once again. I jumped up. So I called them back and I explained the whole situation. And the person I talked to that time looked to the file and they said, okay. So they called the driver and transfer the call over to the driver. Now, keep in mind, this is Sunday. I'm not counting on doing anything on Sunday. I mean, I know it's not the end of the world. I've got my portable unit here. It's my personal portable unit because they wouldn't buy one for me. So I bought it myself. That's what I use when I go on my cruises. So anyway, I knew I wasn't going to be totally without oxygen. So the guy runs me through a bunch of questions and stuff. And he says, no, he says, it does sound like your unit's bad. He said, I'll be there in a few minutes. I said, okay. So sure enough, about 30 minutes later, here he comes with a brand new concentrator, switches it out, puts the new one on. He says, he did test the other one. He says, yeah, it's bad. I said, okay, thank you. So I got a new concentrator, at least as long as I'm here. I'm pretty sure I can't take that with me to Kentucky. I probably have to get hooked up with some oxygen people in Kentucky, but we'll see about that. All right, so let's get on with the business at hand here today, folks. Of course, today's show is brought to you by Will U.S., the owner of Scoot Around, and by Chillie's Cruises. And I got to tell you, folks, it was a very weak news day for a Monday. Very weak. There's a little bit of stuff, but nothing just earth-shattering. But I did come up with a few things here to share with you this morning to take up a little bit of your time. The lead story today, and it's actually a feature story more than anything, explore the most exclusive winter retreat in America. Also today, the TSA issues a behavioral warning. Itinerary change due to wind. A broken chair sparks a lawsuit. Brilliance of the Seas changes Homeport. 5 tons of aid on its way to Jamaica. And a Nassau ribbon cutting. That and lots more here at 11 o'clock this morning. Today, guys, is National Cupcake Day. Who cannot like cupcakes? We probably don't have any cupcakes here, and I'm probably not going to go out and get them, not in this weather. But if you're where you can get a cupcake today, get a cupcake, folks. This day in history, in 1854, the first street cleaning machine is used in Pennsylvania. There's a lot of firsts in Pennsylvania. But a street cleaning machine in 1854, what's that? Sweeping up horse poop? I don't know what other street cleaning would be done in 1854. Hot air time, you're from Pennsylvania. What the hell were they cleaning streets in 1854 other than cleaning up horse poop? I don't know. That one's over my head. So maybe Hot Air Tom, since he's from Pennsylvania, will know something about horse poop or cleaning streets. I don't know. All right. If you're a podcast person, you can always access the podcast via my blog, which is accessadventure.net, or wherever you get your podcasts from. Just search for Travel and Cruise Industry News, and up pops the fat guy. So, let's see. What else do I have? Any announcements? Jen on a jet plane. Hopefully will be on the show Wednesday or Friday. I'm hoping. It's not definite yet. But she's an interesting author, a solo traveler. I'm looking forward to that. This is going to be, I think, a fun interview. I've never talked to her, never met her, but I just have a feeling that because there's a whole lot about what she believes in and what I believe in that are together. Basically, especially if you're solo, and in my case, solo and disabled. Get off your butt and do something. No matter what it is, do it. If you need to get some help to do it, get some help to do it, but do it. Don't sit there and feel sorry for yourself. I'm a strong advocate and believer in that. No matter what happens, you make the best of it. Be the half full kind of guy instead of the half empty kind of guy or person. That wasn't meant to be sexist. All right, so we're going to get to the news stuff today. But first, let's take a quick break from one of our fine network sponsors, and then we'll get started with the business at hand. I'll be right back. All right, Nestor, let's talk about exploring the most exclusive winter retreat in America. What do you say, Nestor?
Just off Georgia's coast lies one of the Southeast's most captivating destinations, Jekyll Island. Today, this serene barrier island is celebrated for its beaches, bike trails, and easygoing atmosphere. A century ago, however, it was America's most exclusive retreat. Visiting Jekyll Island is like stepping back into the Gilded Age, where the vacation homes of the nation's wealthiest families still stand beneath canopies of moss-draped oaks. In the late 19th century, Jekyll Island became the winter refuge of America's industrial elite. Families such as the Rockefellers, Vanderbilts, Pulitzers, Morgans, and Goulds formed the Jekyll Island Club in 1886, creating a private sanctuary for rest, recreation, and discreet socializing. Membership was capped at just 100 of the country's most powerful men, whose combined fortunes represented nearly 1/6 of the world's wealth. Their so-called cottages were, in reality, magnificent mansions set among sprawling lawns and ancient live oaks. Despite the grandeur, life on the island was marked by an easy camaraderie. Members and guests shared meals in the club's refined dining room, rode horses along the shore, hunted quail and deer, and gathered for teas, dances, and evenings under the stars. Jekyll Island was a place to relax among peers, far from public scrutiny. The island also played a quiet but pivotal role in American history. In 1910, a highly secretive meeting of financial leaders, including figures tied to J.P. Morgan and Company and the U.S. Treasury, was held at the clubhouse. Their mission was to devise a more stable national banking system. The plans born from that meeting became the foundation of the Federal Reserve System. As G. Edward Griffin later wrote in The Creature from Jekyll Island, the participants lived under such rigid secrecy that the names of not one of them was once mentioned, ensuring the outside world remained unaware of what would become a landmark moment in U.S. finance. Jekyll Island's era as a private enclave came to an end in the 1940s, when World War II travel restrictions made its operation impractical. In 1947, the state of Georgia purchased the island for $675,000 and opened it to the public as a state park. Today, visitors can explore the beautifully preserved Jekyll Island Historic District, where many original buildings remain. The restored Jekyll Island Club Resort once again welcomes guests for lodging, dining, and afternoon tea, echoing its Gilded Age elegance. Beyond its storied past, Jekyll Island is rich in natural beauty. Driftwood Beach, with its weathered, sculptural trees, is a favorite of photographers, while miles of trails wind through maritime forests and salt marshes. The Georgia Sea Turtle Center highlights the island's commitment to conservation and marine life. On our 9-day Southeast Sea Islands and 9-day Great Rivers of Florida cruises, guests can experience this remarkable island on a guided excursion. Relax on the porch of a millionaire's mansion, wander the same oak-lined paths once traveled by the Morgans and Rockefellers, and discover a place where history and nature exist in perfect harmony. For information on American Cruise Line cruises to Jekyll Island, contact Chillie at 434-258-9264.
All right, thank you, Nestor. And that's an interesting feature. And of course, you guys all know I have not been on an American cruise line. I want to do that. I'm working on working with them to see what happens. But I have had a couple calls on it. So, if you're interested in that part of the world, got a couple of cruises down there, I'll be glad to get the prices on it. And those of you that are looking for an accessible cruise, remember, all the American cruise lines now have at least one accessible cabin. So we just got to find the date that has the accessible cabin open. Just let me know and we'll go hunting.
The Transportation Security Administration issued a stern warning on X, formerly known as Twitter, urging travelers to behave appropriately at airport security checkpoints ahead of the busy holiday travel season. In the post, the agency wrote, "Passengers who engage in unruly behavior at the checkpoint or in-flight may face substantial penalties and possible prosecution on criminal charges." The message was accompanied by what appeared to be a screenshot of a TSA airport electronic billboard or monitor cautioning that threats, verbal abuse, or other harassment of TSA officers could result in fines of nearly $14,000. The warning comes as winter holiday travel is expected to reach a new record. AAA estimates that 122.4 million Americans will travel by road or air this season, marking a 2.2% increase compared with last winter.
Hey, I would just like to add a little advice to that. I mean, I totally agree with them. You know, there is no sense, folks, no matter how bad the airports get, how bad the lines get, we all have to do it. It's just like, you know, we had to get vaccines before. You got to go through TSA. It might be crowded. It might take some time. Don't give those guys hell. I found a long time ago that a little honey goes a long way when they're stressed as putting up with arrogant American travelers. Just take it in stride. You'll be a lot happier in the long run.
We're bringing some holiday cheer to the Las Vegas Strip. Book a mobility scooter or wheelchair rental by January 4th to save. The winter months are a fantastic time to visit Sin City, with cooler temperatures and holiday light displays. Get out and explore. Rentals in Las Vegas are 20% off when booked by the 4th of January 26. Call Scootaround at 1-888-441-7575 or reserve online. Use code LVHoliday or SRN 11137. Following the preemptive delay to Utopia of the Sea's return to Port Canaveral planned after her weekend cruise, guests on the ship's December 15, 2025 departure have been notified that not only is their embarkation delayed, but their 4-night itinerary has been changed as well. As guests boarded the Oasis-class ship on Friday, they were alerted to the delay due to an incoming cold front in Florida late Sunday and early Monday, with high winds and swells that will make it unsafe for the ship to dock on schedule. Utopia of the Sea's December 15th cruise will swap port days due to the departure delay. Guests will still visit both ports, but Nassau will be on Thursday instead of Tuesday. Shore tours will be adjusted automatically or refunded if necessary. A guest was injured while sailing with Princess Cruises earlier this year, and is now pursuing legal action against the Carnival-owned cruise line. In December, Marie Cassano filed a lawsuit to seek compensation after her January 2025 sailing on a Princess cruise ship went wrong. The specific ship she was on board has not been publicly named. Cassano had sat down in the ship's main theater to watch a show, when her seat suddenly came apart and collapsed, causing her severe and permanent injuries. The specific injuries suffered by the cruiser have also not been publicly released at this time. Cassano alleges that Princess Cruises either did or should have known that the chair was faulty and did not take proper steps to prevent guests from using the defective seat. As of the time of this writing, Princess Cruises has not commented publicly on this situation. Brilliance of the Seas will homeport at Trieste instead of Ravenna on August 10, 2026. This impacts both the departing passengers as well as embarking guests. Construction delays at Ravenna are causing the switch, but no further details are available. While both Ravenna and Trieste are in northern Italy, the two cities are 185 miles apart. This can be a 4-hour drive or longer, depending on route and traffic, though there are also train options and other ways to transit between the two homeports. Just 7 weeks after the catastrophic landfall of Hurricane Melissa in New Hope, Jamaica, there is new hope on the way to the island with continued relief supplies aboard Carnival Horizon. The vessel will deliver more than 5 tons of relief supplies to Jamaica this week. The delivery includes hygiene kits as well as critical medical supplies. Carnival Cruise Line and various partners continue to pledge support for the island's recovery. Christmas has come early for Royal Caribbean in Nassau. The official ribbon cutting for Royal Beach Club Paradise Island was held Saturday. The ceremony included local and cruise line executives, and some VIPs to celebrate. The club will welcome its first cruise guests on Tuesday, December 23rd. Black Friday has come and gone, but we're offering festive deals throughout the holiday season. Save big on mobility scooters, power chairs, and accessories until December 15th. Order now to ensure your product arrives before Christmas. Use code December15 or SRN11137 to get 15% off scooters, power chairs, accessories from the Scootaround store.
All right, that puts an end to the news portion of today's show. A couple comments. Number one, the Scootaround store goes through today, the 15% off. That may get extended. However, I have not gotten a notification on it yet, but it does go through tonight. So if you're in the market today, you can get the 15% off. The other one, I see that Hot Air Tom made a comment about the lady falling in the chair, that she fell such a great distance and landed on a soft pad, and how serious could her injuries be. I agree with that, but she did file a lawsuit. So whether or not that makes it to court or not, that's a whole nother story. And the other one that I wanted to comment on was on the ship being late because of the wind. That was sailing was supposed to be today. Well, she's sailing 6.5 hours late. So just, she's not going to get out of there till tonight. But so far, it has not affected the rest of the cruise, other than the people who are going to be late getting on board. They've got a new schedule for arrival and all that business. So anyway, that's what's happening today due to the wind. All right, that's going to put an end to the news portion of today's show. So let's jump over in the chat room, see who's with us today. I know Hot Air Tom says frigid Richmond. Yeah, it's frigid. Okay, man, it was brutal. Still brutal here. But yeah, -5 wind chill this morning. I don't like that at all. That's why I blamed it on John. He'll probably kill me. Bob's with us. Good morning, Bob. Says, have a great day. Stay warm. There's Mike. Hi, Mike. Says, good morning to me and everyone. Sonny's with us down in Mississippi. Hi, Chillie and all. It's cold here, too. Yeah, it's cold everywhere today. Amy's with us. Good morning, Amy. She's happy Monday from a freezing Rhode Island. Roger's with us down in Jacksonville, driving to Augustine Marina. I hope it's warmer there than it is here. Sonny says good morning to everybody. Gretchen's with us out in Ohio. Good morning, Gretchen. Hot Air Tom says, why did we leave sunny Florida? Last night we had an office dinner and someone said I was crazy. Yeah, well, I can understand that. Hot Air Tom says, lots of horse poo, even in current times from the Amish and Mennonite buggies. Don't get that on my tires. All right, I just thought it funny that they had the first street cleaner before they had cars. That just only thing I could figure was they were cleaning horse poop. So Mary Joy is with us. It's one of our ex-folks. Good morning. How are you doing? Let's see. Mike says hi to Sonny. Katie says good morning to everyone. Hi, Katie. Gary Older Than Dirt's with us. Hey, Gary. Good morning, all. Gary says. Yeah, here's what Tom said about the lady's chair. No one responded to the injury. Facebook posted an agreement. Most said it was a money grab, plus making fun of the huge distance she fell with the soft cushion. Yeah. I mean, I can understand you sit down in one of those chairs and it drops straight under you. It's a shock to your system. And yeah, it could hurt jamming your back or your butt. So, hey, yes, it's possible to get injured. And depending on if there were jagged edges on the where it fell apart, there could be a lot of problems with that. So I'm not going to totally write her off as a whack job lean that way, but I'm not going to write it off yet until I have further knowledge one way or the other. Jamin's with us. Good morning, Jamin. Good to hear from you too. Yeah, I know it's cold down there in Charlotte too. All right, guys. So that's going to wrap me up for today. Again, I'm hoping we have a guest here either Wednesday or Friday. Stay tuned. I'll let you know if we do. I haven't heard back from her this morning, and let me double check real quick. Make sure that I haven't heard from her while I was on the air. Let's see. Jen Ruiz, broadcast booking request, inbox. Nope, have not heard from her back this morning, so we'll see what happens. And Gretchen says to stay warm all. Yeah, I'm not going to go outside at all today. Unfortunately, tomorrow I have to go outside. So I'm hoping it warms up a little. So, all right, guys, that's going to wrap me up for today. For now, stay safe, stay healthy. Think about cruising. Hopefully one day soon we'll all get together on the high seas. All right, guys, have a great day. I'll see you back here tomorrow or Wednesday. I can't even know what day it is. For now, be safe, be healthy, and we'll see you next time. All right, guys, have a great day. See you.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner, hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chillies Cruises.